Hey, what's up? Chris Seiter here, founder of exboyfriendrecovery.com, and today I'm putting together this video to teach you how to make your ex regret losing you. But before I start teaching you how to make your ex regret losing you, the first thing I'd like you to do is actually stop by our website and take our Ex Recovery Chances quiz. This is something I recommend to all newbies out there who are wondering if they even have a chance of getting their ex back. I put together this really awesome quiz designed to help you understand if you even have a chance or not. So if you want to take that quiz, all you have to do is simply go to our website, www.exboyfriendrecovery.com, and click on the quiz button in the navigation bar. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, hey, you get it easier. All you have to do is simply look in the link in the description below the video. You click on that, it will take you directly to that quiz, which will hopefully tell you if you have a chance of getting your ex back. What if I were to tell you that I'm gonna give you my 5 best tips for making your ex regret losing you? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. That's what this video is. So buckle up because we're gonna get started with my 5 best tips. Tip number 1, it's all about your positioning. I've been doing this for about 6.5 years, and there's 2 things that I've learned through all that time. Really, you can boil down to getting your ex back or making them regret losing you based on 2 simple factors: timing and positioning. And in my experience, most people struggle with positioning. Look, you cannot make an ex regret losing you if you're begging for them back, you're acting desperate, or you're even letting them know that you want them back. You actually have to play the opposite side. Tip number 2, utilize the theory of reactance. Now, the theory of reactance may seem a little complicated if you don't really know what it is, but the premise is pretty simple. I want you to take a look at this picture. Someone threw a bunch of rocks at it, right? Well, they actually did that because of the theory of reactance. Reactance states that if you take or threaten to take someone's behavioral freedoms away, they're going to respond in a way to actually try to get that freedom back or simply rebel. Now, you may be sitting there and wondering, what does this have to do with making your ex regret losing you? Well, you've heard of something called the no contact rule, right? The no contact rule works because of the theory of reactance. By utilizing the no contact rule, you are actually taking your ex's behavioral freedom of talking to you away. So they're more likely to position themselves in a way where they're chasing you. Tip number 3, utilize the fear of loss. If you didn't already know, I actually have a 3-year-old daughter. And one of the really interesting things about having a 3-year-old daughter is you realize that the attention spans of a 3-year-old human being aren't that great. In fact, the other day she was watching TV, and then she got uninterested in watching TV. She started playing with something else. So I decided I was going to turn the TV off. Of course, when I did that, she threw a massive tantrum. But why? Why did she throw this massive tantrum? Well, it's because she was afraid she was going to lose TV forever. The fear of loss. Sometimes we can't regret letting someone go or losing someone until we actually see someone else enjoying the benefits of being with that person. We've all had that person that we were madly in love with and then went through a breakup with. We thought we were over them until we actually saw them with someone else. And then you realize how much you miss that person. That is the fear of loss in play. And that is what you need to do to your ex if you want to make them regret losing you. Tip number 4, double down on the best parts of your relationship. Most human beings remember experiences based on the end of the experience. And then sometimes they remember experiences based on the peak of the experience. The average relationship arc looks a little like this. Right? You've got the slow and steady incline where things are getting good, you're getting to know each other, you're starting to fall in love, and then you have the inevitable plateau. That's the honeymoon period. Things are never going to be better than they are at this point. And then there's the slow and steady descent. That is the average arc of a relationship. And most people remember their relationships based on these 2 points. A massive problem that I see time and time again is that people actually reinforce the end of the relationship. They reinforced all the bad parts, and most of the time the end of your relationship isn't going to be great, right? It's when you ended your relationship. So what you really need to do is actually try to find ways to reinforce the best parts of your relationship. If you're gonna have a conversation with your ex, make sure that you're not bringing up that bad fight that you had at the end of the relationship. Make sure you bring up that amazing time you had together during the best parts of your relationship. Tip number 5, bring your ex back to the good parts emotionally. Now, this tip is really similar to tip number 4. They're kind of a synergy between tip number 4 and tip number 5. Tip number 5 is really talking about the emotional aspects of your relationship, right? You want to find ways to emphasize the most romantic parts of your relationship. You want to find ways to make them emotional. And one of the best ways to do this is utilizing a memory text message. Instead of doing the back and forth, hey, the tit for tat with the text messaging, make sure you're utilizing a memory text. Now, an example of a memory text would be if you actually sat there and thought of a great memory that the 2 of you had together. Maybe you went surfing together, right? You're riding the waves. Find ways to emphasize that in a text message. Tell a story about that. Make it emotional, especially if there's something emotional that happened. Make it exciting so that they're excited to hear from you and they want to engage in conversation with you. We don't regret losing someone who is boring. We regret losing someone who we can't live without. Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. I have a blast doing these videos, but again, I'm gonna do the whole roundup. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. The other thing I would like to say is if you do subscribe, you'll get notified for when I do an inevitable YouTube Live. I've been doing these YouTube Lives lately and answering people's questions one-on-one in person so that you can actually get real advice from a real expert live. And it's an exciting thing. So make sure you subscribe so you actually have an opportunity to attend one of those, because usually I don't have a set schedule. The other thing I would like you to do is actually stop by our website. We're doing this new thing where we're actually writing articles and filming YouTube videos in tandem so that there's a parity between both. So that if you want more information about what the topic is, you can go to our website and find the article that really emphasizes or explains certain aspects that you really feel need to be elaborated on. Hey, this was a blast. Thank you so much. Hey, don't forget, subscribe.